back. Lead editor, David Burdett.
The Call of Duty League event, while it did take me away from the podcast, was awesome.
Oh, that's good.
The kickoff event was just, it was so much fun. And there was worry about whether the game would play good and all that kind of different stuff and whatnot. But man, fully entertaining 3 days of Call of Duty, for
So
sure.
would you say Vanguard is playing well, or it was just entertaining?
Well, considering how many restarts I watched during Halo's first live event,
Yeah.
and there was one restart on Call of Duty's live event, and that was because TeamSpeak crashed, not because the game. Something tells me that Call of Duty ran a little bit better. There's still issues with some of the game, but they're getting stuff figured out. That's what the kickoff event's for, so that you don't have your first big event marred by issues. Probably one of the coolest things is finding out that Adam Apicella and Esports Engine, the people who actually put on most of the big esports programs, they're actually involved in the Halo events right now. They are back working with the Call of Duty League. So the presentation was already in the very beginning of it. You could see the improvements that just them being there adds.
Great. Awesome. Editor Noah Ansaldua.
While we're on esports, I was watching Apex Legends Global Series last week at around the same time David was at the kickoff event. And man, I'm a TSM Apex fan like all the way. And I love watching them. They're so fun and engaging to watch. And I can't wait. I can't wait for more.
I need to watch one at some point. With all the Halo stuff that goes on, I miss pretty much everything Call of Duty and Apex related. But yeah, I want to watch at least one this year.
Yeah.
We're missing Halo right now.
We are, yeah. But my name is Anthony Shelton, writer and YouTube content creator. I started watching Arcane. I watched the first episode, and it's good. It's good. It's the type of thing I've always wanted video game, I guess, TV movie adaptions to be. Like, don't make it live action. Make it, cartoon or 3D animation, whatever the case may be, because you could just do more stuff with it. You don't have to stick to something grounded in somewhat reality because you're using live action stuff. And I feel like that definitely helps Arcane work really well. And the dialogue is good. All of it's good. I don't know if you guys have seen it at all, but it took me a while to get to it, but I liked it. Can't wait to watch more of it.
I've heard good things too. And I'm just kind of where you're at, except a little bit more behind, and I'm about to get to it, and I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, let us jump into our icebreaker. This one is a little unique this week, although it's the second week, but we've been doing it for a while and testing other icebreakers. But this one is game characters that would have good or bad breath. Think about that. So I got a list of game characters that I have, and you two are going to tell me whether or not they have good or bad breath, or at least would have good or bad breath. So I have 20 of them. It'll go quick though. So what about Mario? Good breath or bad breath?
I feel like Mario's got bad breath because I don't know. David, tell me what you think. We'll see if we have to.
He's got bad breath. He has bad breath, dude. Climbs through sewer pipes all the time. So
yeah,
he's eating everything, and you never see him brush his teeth. He's consuming all this stuff, and he's not.
Only thing that may help
mushrooms.
is if he eats that fire flower.
Yeah,
it might cleanse the palate a little bit. Yeah,
maybe. Okay, what about Luigi then? Good
I think
he's in the same boat.
I think he's got bad breath.
Yeah.
Okay. Crash Bandicoot. Good breath, bad breath.
Awful breath, like disgusting breath, like hot, warm, musty, awful.
He eats apples.
I'll go away from it. He's eating all those nice Wampa fruit and stuff. He's eating them all the time, so keeps his breath smelling like Wampa fruit, and that just I want some of the Wampa fruit G Fuel so I can try it out. I bet it's pretty good.
Maybe his teeth aren't so great, which may lead to bad breath. Who knows? Nathan Drake.
I think it depends on where he's at in his life. Uncharted 4, beginning of the game, Nathan Drake, good breath.
Okay.
But like a week into his expeditions, bad breath. He doesn't even care. That's out the window.
I was about to say, when did that dude find time to shower? So, let alone brush your teeth.
Bad breath. All right. Conquer. Good breath, bad breath.
Conquer.
Who?
Conquer.
Oh, Conquer.
I'm gonna say bad
Conquer.
breath.
I had to throw that one in there. Throw you off a little bit.
On Conquer, I could see him having good breath because he wants his breath to smell good for the ladies. He wants to go in for some sugar.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Good point.
Yep.
Okay. Joanna Dark. Good breath, bad breath.
I'm gonna say. What is she from?
Perfect Dark.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm gonna say good breath.
Good breath. Okay.
she's a government agent, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
she's
started-
got good
yeah.
breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
She
got it.
takes her job seriously.
Fair enough. Jade from Beyond Good and Evil. Good breath, bad breath.
I want to say good breath.
I'm gonna go with good because I feel like her parents would have trained that into her.
All right. Ganondorf. Good breath, bad breath.
Oh, that's
Awful
tough.
breath.
Okay. Yeah, maybe good breath though, because he's like, he's like the evil demon lord, but he's also kind of regal when he's in Ganondorf form. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but if you're that regal, you don't care what
So-
people think about you.
It is lore that the Gerudus only have one male, right? And then the
Yeah.
rest are female. So I feel like he probably has to keep good breath at some point, to keep the females
That's true.
happy.
I would think so.
I don't know. I'm just, hey, Zelda if it were real. All right, Spyro. Good breath, bad breath.
Bad breath.
Yes, bad breath.
Okay. Captain Price. Good breath.
Oh,
bad breath.
awful breath. Bad breath.
Well, he smokes too, right? Yeah.
He's smoking
It's 'cause
cigars all the time.
he's a smoker. Yeah.
All right, Laura Croft. Good breath, bad breath.
I'm gonna say bad breath. Because I don't think we ever get like downtime with her. She's always in the middle of
New-
something.
reboot trilogy, bad breath. Earlier,
Yeah.
good breath.
Okay. Sam Fisher. Good breath, bad breath.
Good breath. Good breath. It feels like
mean-
we're saying nonsense at this point, but good breath.
That wonderful voice that comes out, that echoes out when it's a not blacklist. That's good breath right there.
Exactly.
Banjo. Good breath,
Bad.
bad breath.
Bad breath.
Bad breath.
I don't know enough about Banjo to give a
He's a bear.
He's a
thought
bear.
on that.
That's enough for me.
Fox McCloud. Good breath, bad breath.
Oh, good breath.
He's good breath.
He's like very, yeah,
Sephiroth. Good breath, bad breath.
the best breath. It'd smell amazing. I bet.
The angel in One Winged Angel is not talking about what he looks like. It's talking about his breath. So
Yeah.
Cloud.
Cloud.
You bring up
he's the
Sephiroth.
same.
Probably-
He's the same.
Yeah,
Probably good breath. Yeah.
I think so. All right, Master Chief.
Master Chief totally has good breath. You do not exist in that helmet that long and not have good breath.
Yeah. I would hope it's good breath. Yeah.
You would smell it too quickly.
You probably see it. Captain Falcon.
Good breath. Good breath.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say
he
so.
strikes me as good hygiene.
Yeah.
Aloy.
I think bad breath, but I'm not quite sure. But she's always roaming around the wilds. I don't know. I think bad breath.
Who knows what she's.
He's resourceful enough to build things out of animal parts from robot dinosaurs. I'm pretty sure she can rig up a toothbrush. So I'm going with good breath.
Good breath.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
I think that was the only one you two split on. And Kratos.
She did manage to get a team around her at the end,
Kratos.
She
so
did. Kratos.
Bad breath, Kratos.
Bad breath.
Kratos has bad breath because of the fact of he will use any additional weaponry he can, and that's just an extra weapon.
If he has to use his own teeth, so be it. Or his bad breath, so be it. Okay. All right, there you go. 20 video game characters who might have good breath or bad breath. All right, let's move into our trending news segment. So, Respawn is working on 3, not 1, not 2, 3 Star Wars games. Not all from Respawn themselves. Some are being worked on by other developers with Respawn supporting, like BitReactor, but this is happening. David, what is your reaction to this?
Oh, I'm thrilled. Great studio working on more Star Wars games. Star Wars games. I'm a humongous Star Wars nerd. Absolutely love it. I'm actually having a custom controller built that is Star Wars oriented right now for my PlayStation 5. It's going to have LEDs, so when you turn it on, the people that they are painting on there are going to have their lightsabers turn on, essentially.
Oh.
So
Wow.
I will be playing these games with that controller for certain. But they've got several really great games in there. Fallen Order, I think that was like worst kept secret. We all knew that there was going to be a sequel to that. The first one was so good, and I just want more of that universe. I feel like it's only going to be better because at this point, I would guarantee that game is next gen only. All of these games are probably next gen only. The single player FPS is the most interesting of all of them to me, because obviously that means Battlefront 3 is dead, because if it's Battlefront 3, you announce it. In my mind, you announce exactly what it is.
Yeah, EA's already confirmed they're not working on Battlefront 3.
Yeah. So the question is, what is this single player FPS? What are they doing? I would love to see Republic Commando rebooted, or the second in the series, especially considering they seem to have almost tested the water by putting that out on PlayStation 4. So we'll see. It's one of my favorites, so I'm hoping. But I guess we'll find out what happens. Has it been confirmed that it's only single player, or does it have, or will there be multiplayer? Do we just don't know?
All we know is that the person who is working on the first-person shooter is co-created Medal of Honor. So that's
okay.
So that could go either way. It could be single player with multiplayer, or just single player.
I would imagine there has to be something with multiplayer in there, just because it's something that you're looking to do. And Battlefront 2 was, as much crap as it got, at the end was a phenomenal shooter, and a lot of people gravitated to it. Even when it was having issues, people were there. So it had a following, and I feel like you can grab those people back. The strategy game, strategy isn't always my thing, but the Star Wars universe, that's really, really cool universe to do stuff like that in. You have no shortage of lore and stuff to work with. So I'd definitely give it a try for sure.
Yeah, and that is being developed by BitReactor, which is made up of some developers from Firaxis who made XCOM. So at least there's some what's the word?
Familiarity.
Familiarity there, and some veteranship under the belt for that developer. So Noah, what was your reaction?
Yeah, I like lasered in on the single player FPS because like we heard about it a little before this news broke, but we didn't know it was Star Wars. We heard that that Respawn was working on a game, FPS single player game with a focus on style and mobility, and like that to me is like my favorite. If I hear mobility in a first person shooter, I'm like, okay, I'm interested. Tell me more. And I think they could do some really cool stuff with this. Like maybe not some of the stuff we've already seen in like first person like Star Wars games. But maybe we get something focusing on like the Death Watch or like some Mandalorian stuff. Because if I think mobility and I think like shooters, those are the most mobile like shooter people in the Star Wars universe that I can think of. Or maybe, you're like a Gungan and maybe that's the mobility aspect.
Please, dear goodness, no.
No, it definitely wouldn't go that way. But like playing as a Mandalorian in that way would be dope. And also like the way that they like said it's just a single player FPS with their like release, maybe it's like a proof of concept to start out with, and Respawn's going to do that. And then like maybe they don't want to support another multiplayer game because they haven't really been the best at that with Titanfall 2, as we've seen. And Apex Legends is a beast of its own. So maybe it's like a proof of concept, and then another dev studio will just sort of copy paste and then make sure everything's good with the multiplayer game. But I don't know. I think I want to take them at their word that it's going to be a single player game, because if it's a multiplayer, why wouldn't you just say that out the gate? And then Fallen Order. I loved Fallen Order. Like story wise, Cal Kestis and Seer, like all of them, all the characters introduced in that game are like amazing and great, and they have their own lore that's like much better than anything presented in the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. So I cannot wait to see where they go with that. And like the first game kind of ended on a great way to end it, like a great way to say, all right, you're going to come back for more, and you're going to probably like it maybe even more than what we offered in the first game, because it feels like it gets so much like bigger at the end of that first one. And yeah, I can't wait to see like if we battle bigger names that we already know in the universe, or like how that branches off. But I definitely am on board with Respawn, one of EA's best devs right now, taking on 3 Star Wars games. That's awesome.
I'm most interested in the strategy game, not because I like strategy, but I feel like strategy games tend to be able to delve deep into stories. So I feel like it could be the game that allows us to learn more about existing lore or develop new lore, and be able to use all kinds of different people, life forms, all that kind of stuff, and make it all work, because it is a strategy game. Each unit can have its, strengths and weaknesses and all that kind of stuff. And then along with that, like, you're learning story, you're learning about the characters, you're learning about the species and life forms and the planets wherever you are. I just think there's so much room to wiggle with the strategy game. I hope, personally, I hope it's not a real-time strategy game. I suck at those. I hate those. So I hope it's turn-based. Considering it's a bunch of developers from Firaxis, I imagine it would be turn-based. But that's why I'm excited about that, because as much as I've fallen off of Star Wars, particularly after the second trilogy, or the recent trilogies, I'm excited about that. I haven't been able to play Fallen Order yet.
You need to.
Yeah. I'm gonna play it before the second one comes out for sure, so that way I have some context. But I just didn't have.
Pretty sure it's on Game Pass.
It is. But I have other stuff to play from this year, so I need to keep things in line. But I am looking forward to playing it. I want to play it, so it's not like I'm avoiding it on purpose. But either way, the first person shooter I'm just kind of the least enthused about, because we don't know much about it, and Star Wars has always been a combination of lightsabers as well as guns, so I always feel like just focusing on guns and stuff can only go so far. So I'm curious to know where they're going to take it. Like with Battlefront, it worked. Maybe going a Clone Wars route, that could work, but at the end of the day, guess what happened in Battlefront? They still had characters with the lightsabers, right? It's just like this is Star Wars. It's kind of hard to do these things without iconic weaponry from the franchise. So to limit it to just guns might feel a little weird to me at first. I don't know. We'll see what they do. Let's move on to the next thing. What was that? Oh, yes. Last week we were talking about Call of Duty and Microsoft acquiring Activision. David, we didn't get to hear your thoughts about that. So we'll catch a little bit of your thoughts there. But it has been at least mildly confirmed, at least it's posited, that the next 3 Call of Duties will release on PlayStation. So that is this year, 2023, and 2024. Whatever those games turn out to be, they will be on PlayStation. David, you are our Call of Duty guy, so we'll start with you again. What is your reaction to that? And go ahead and give us some of your thoughts about Microsoft acquiring Activision as well, since you weren't here last week to give us some of those thoughts.
So I'm really interested to see how a lot of this goes with. Obviously, we know like the digging has been done. It's Schreier, so it's almost completely confirmed at this point. The next 3 Call of Duties we know are on PlayStation. What has been posited is that it will be Modern Warfare, which is this year, whatever Treyarch is working on for next year, and then a successor to Warzone, which is their way, in my mind, of going to next gen. Everybody is looking at Warzone and all of this stuff and being like, okay, this is the only thing. When Phil Spencer made his tweet about Call of Duty and all of this stuff, this is where it hits. The interesting thing will always be, obviously, in the end, money is probably no object for Microsoft. They have a crap ton of money. They don't really care. They do want to push people into Game Pass. However, the question is always, what do you gain by taking it off of the category, off of there, as opposed to what can you gain by leaving it on there? Money is always going to be great. It does kind of fall into that Minecraft category where, I mean, people forget, and I've actually forgotten until I thought about it a little deeper. Minecraft Dungeons, that's a Microsoft after the acquisition game.
Yeah.
And it's on every platform.
Yeah.
People completely forget that even a smaller game like that still released on everything. Why? Because Microsoft understands the strength of having the right stuff on every platform. Call of Duty falls into that very interesting area of they may lose more than they gain making it exclusive. Because if you take it away, it's not like everybody and their mom's going to run out and buy an Xbox because, oh Lord, I need to play Call of Duty. No, they're just going to say, screw you and play something else. I mean, Warzone's still going to be on both consoles for quite some time. People will just jump over to Apex. People will do this, people will do that. Call of Duty brand is not as strong as it used to be in retaining people. So people would be more apt, in my mind, of just saying, I don't care. The other thing, and this is something that I think is very overlooked when it comes to PlayStation, is if I'm Microsoft, the first thing I'm looking to do, if it makes sense, obviously, to my business and bringing it to PlayStation, is announcing that because, oh, look, this grand monopoly that I all of a sudden have isn't as much of a monopoly because I've left a huge franchise on the other platform. That, to me, was somewhat of a calculated move there because you can keep all those wonderful IPs you have. You can make plenty of money off of PlayStation people, and you're not going to be as investigated as hard on Monopoly kind of style stuff. I'm not saying that they would be worried about it really in the first place, because once again, the whole Monopoly argument's probably not as heavy, but given Microsoft is a US company, they're gonna definitely do their due diligence on it. Trying to feel like there was one other thing I was thinking about in regards to this, but I am blanking. So, but that's at least my thoughts on it. Is it could really go either way. I think it's a lot more 50-50 than people actually think. There are so many people saying it's definitely exclusive or it's definitely coming to both platforms. I really think they're kind of, and I think this is what I was trying to say, is I think Spencer was throwing the ball. He's throwing the ball in PlayStation's court. He's saying, we want to keep this on your platform. Let's figure out how to do that. Because probably the biggest thing is PlayStation is probably going to have to make some concessions price-wise to get it as well, is the way I'm looking at it. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. One thought I did have, annual release is done. That's an almost right away thing. I think they're not announcing anything obviously past this because you don't have plans for it. I think immediately I think as soon as the Black Ops or whatever it is comes out from Treyarch, I think we go into a year where it's a hiatus.
Noah?
Yeah, I didn't think about it from that angle, but I don't know if this is really Phil Spencer saying, "Okay, the ball's in your court." Like all I'm getting from this is like, "Okay, we're gonna honor our agreements, and maybe we'll see after." And I think that means that they might use these next three Call of Duty releases to like look at the numbers because I'm sure they have their projections that say, "Okay, this is how much money this will make us if it's on PlayStation." This is how much money it'll bring Microsoft specifically from this deal. So maybe they need to actually like look at the numbers that these Call of Duties make and see if it's actually worth it to have it on PlayStation and not just make it exclusive. And yeah, they probably will see that it is worth it to keep it on PlayStation, like David's talking about. And I think that still is a conversation that's going to come later, though. It seems like the conversations that Spencer noted in his tweets were really just about like, okay, let's not hit the panic button, PlayStation. Y'all are going to be okay for the time being, and then we'll talk later. I think that conversation is getting kicked down the road a little bit, and that's all right because, if as David says, it changes from a yearly release, and we might see like a renaissance of Call of Duty, and that might be huge for Xbox. But I think that remains to be seen, and at least PlayStation players will be able to enjoy the next 3 Call of Duties, so that's good for them.
Now, on what you said, kicking it down the road, here's a fun thing that everybody is forgetting in the room. We're a year and a half from this being completed, if it's completed. I'm not saying it's probably closer to like the 90% done, but it's not finished. Everybody's going after this like, okay, they acquired it, and they wouldn't have announced anything if they weren't pretty much ready to roll. But it's got a year and a half to be done.
Yeah.
You can't have conversations on what's exclusive and what's not at this point because you don't know where it's going to be. It would be just like them blowing up Modern Warfare because, it's going to be exclusive, so we've got to change this. No, I mean it's just not going to happen. The biggest thing with Phil's tweet that I saw is the way he put an "and" in there. It's I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard, and then he goes with "and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation." So that's where it's very interesting in wording. Once again, you can take wording any way you want it, but to me, that's where I see I'm communicating our desire to keep it on there. That to me is putting the ball in Sony's court a bit, at least in terms of leverage, not necessarily. Oh, it's never. We're definitely just going to roll over and let you keep this game. It's more the thought of, hey, our desire is to keep it on here. So, and to me, it's at the end of that. So, what you gonna do about it?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what decision Sony has to make other than give up your 1-year exclusivity deals that they've had with Activision. That's about the only thing they have any leverage over. So I just feel like that was a comment about, no, we want to keep it multi-platform probably because it benefits us, and we know it's so big. If we took it away, then it wouldn't benefit us. So yes, It is our desire to keep it on there because if we take it away, that's not going to increase our Game Pass numbers, and it's not going to increase our hardware sales. So yes, it is
not to mention
desire.
You go from a annual release to a non-annual. There's a whole year of revenue missing.
Well, that's
suddenly
why
you're not making a lot of money.
I don't know if Call of Duty will not be an annual release.
I really don't think it. I really think it won't be annual after whatever Treyarch is working on.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because Call of Duty brings in so much money, the same people will be making it. It's been top dog for 10 years plus? Why stop? Like, if Microsoft is about money, if Xbox is about money, PlayStation's about money, if Activision's still going to be about money, then there is zero reason to not make Call of Duty an annual release other than making sure your developers aren't crunching as much. The only thing I would consider that they do is that they take Sledgehammer off of it and just leave it to Treyarch and Infinity Ward, because that's what they were doing anyway. So, but I don't think that's going to happen, because they did that in order to
you need the 3-year cycle.
Yeah, in order to give developers more time to work on these things. So,
what's crazy is Modern Warfare 2 is going to be the first game we've got with a 3-year cycle in the last 3 dev cycles.
And I imagine it's probably going to be good, or at least, good in one of the better Call of Duties because of it. They're going to learn from their mistakes from Modern Warfare, and they're going to improve. And obviously, it's going to be on next gen, so it's going to look even better than Modern Warfare did, which looked great. So, but it being non-annual, like I actually hope it does become a non-annual franchise, because I know Call of Duty could be even better than what it is, even with the 3-year cycle that they have with all the developers. But that's still so much design pressure on the developers. You make one, and then you immediately have to start thinking about the next one. And even if you're not immediately thinking about the next one, you've already got it kind of etched out a little bit, sketched out a little bit of what you want to do. Like, take the Modern Warfare franchise. Maybe they already have like this trilogy kind of planned out already, but not all the details. Like, to go from one, then right to another, like it's a lot. It's a lot to do every single time, and to have a 4 or 5 year cycle would be great. But the money, the money is so, there's so much of it every single year. I don't know if it's going to not be annual. That would be great.
It's a really interesting. It's a really interesting call that you have to make with it. That's for sure. Like, all of it, annual, non-annual, multi-platform, exclusive, all of these things. Very interesting.
If I were Phil Spencer, I'd probably still make it annual, because every year that you're probably going to increase Game Pass numbers.
Yeah, for sure. So that's what I was talking about last week. And also, if Xbox did non-annual, then we're still in the era of Call of Duty as like a game as a service. So you'd still have to do something in that off year with the existing like games that are already out, and that would take dev time, and that would most likely take dev time from the studios that are working on it, because I do see Xbox, easing off on the support. Every studio is going to support these 3 studios in making Call of Duty games, and that's the move. I think Xbox is going to definitely pivot away from that. So having these studios support this game while also being in the 4 or 5 year cycle for the other game, I don't see that even happening. I think Xbox would probably rather do the annual release, so we can have a titled release and have that money coming in from a titled release, instead of like, okay, here's like a 4 seasons of content for this year as kind of like a filler. Yeah.
The question is, does it become exclusive after PlayStation or after the 3rd year? No, I don't think so. I think they're going to keep it. I think they're going to keep it on PlayStation. Like, it doesn't make any sense to not put it there. The money's too great.
Well, and all this talk about the 3 games and stuff, it's like, well, yeah, that's when the contract's in. Right. Of course, all the reporting is the next 3 games. Mm-hmm. The only thing in development right now is the next 3 games. They can't talk about anything else because of contracts haven't been written, and the games aren't even being made yet.
Yeah. For sure. But I do think I think they'll stay multi-platform. In the sense, Call of Duty and Minecraft differ in the fact that Minecraft was on so many different devices that it just would be weird to limit it to Xbox. Even with Minecraft Dungeons, it's Minecraft, so you just see the Minecraft name. You expect it to be on multiple platforms. It'd be weird if it wasn't. Yep. People would be like, well, why can I only play this on Xbox? I have a Switch, yada, yada, yada.
I think it helps you with the whole Monopoly crowd investigation stuff if you're able to be like, hey, our games are going to be on our Call of Duty. The biggest IP we have is going to be cross-platform.
Yeah, so I think that's definitely an interesting angle. Glad you brought that up, because I don't think a monopoly was even in a concern, only because the properties you're absorbing from Activision and Blizzard, there's not a lot of them. Yes, you got World of Warcraft. Yes, you got Diablo. You got Overwatch. You got Call of Duty. You got Crash Bandicoot. You got Spyro. They're not even using Spyro. They barely use Crash Bandicoot.
I'm excited to see what they could do with Starcraft.
Yes, Starcraft.
Because they were developing. We all remember the shooter that never came out. I'd love to see something like that come out.
You would?
Come on, Obsidian, make it happen.
Well, either way, they're not absorbing a whole bunch. Not enough to suggest that if Microsoft got all of these properties, they'd have a total monopoly.
We all know Call of Duty's going to not be annual, so that they can, in those middle years, fill it in with a new release of Zork.
Oh my gosh.
Because they now own Zork as part of the Activision.
Yeah, this is true.
Nah, all I know is I'm going to be disappointed again by another new company that's not going to release a StarCraft or prototype game.
Yeah. Maybe prototype will come back, though.
I want Blur to come back. I don't know if anybody remembers that game, but that game was amazing.
Yes. I've been waiting. I've been wanting another
That's part of the Activision stable of IP, and real car Mario Kart needs to come back so badly.
I love Blur, and unfortunately racing games just aren't in right now, so who knows what's going to happen.
Oh man, can you imagine if they did a crossover with Forza?
Blur and Forza? That'd be weird. I don't think that would work. Forza Horizon Blur. I don't think that would work. All right, let's play our what have you been playing game? Apples to Apples. We have all three here now. Woo! So now we can start
actually tracking
of points. All right. So as we do, each of us have a game that we will talk about this week. We will present our 3 words, and the person who is leading will choose one of our words, and if they are chosen, they will get the point, and then they'll talk about the game. So let's start with Noah. We haven't started with you on anything. So Noah, what game have you been playing?
This is a bit of a surprise. I've been playing Apex Legends.
No way!
It's true. What? It really is.
That Metal Gear Solid sound. All right, David, what are your 3 words?
Mine are, it's in the game.
Oh my god.
Respawn, yet no respawn. And legendary.
The fact that you said it's in the game, you should automatically be disqualified. Mine are Snipe Down, Defiance, and Maggie. Noah, which word do you choose?
I'm going to go, well, hold on, because respawn yet no respawn, you got respawn beacons. That's the whole thing. But Maggie, I'm going with Maggie, because
nice.
The new trailer, the launch trailer came out today, and it was pretty dope. Maggie's like a badass. Like in the lore trailer that came out like last week, she like slams her face on like a stand and spits her tooth out like so hard that it sticks in this guy's head. Of like the judge that's like judging her, because she's like a freedom fighter type woman, and she's like very crazy. It's insane, and she looks like she's going to be a great new legend, and she actually might be like kind of meta. This is like all speculation, but from the launch trailer, which is a cinematic, which has really no bearing on whether or not it might be in the game or not, but she throws this thing on like a wall, and on the other side flames come out, like on the other side of the wall. I don't know how that works, but that could be huge for like getting a Caustic or Watson out from behind a wall and like making them like either destroying their stuff or like making them leave. I don't know how it's going to work, but she could be pretty big for that.
Interesting.
And that could get, that could be great because Caustic is kind of stinking up the meta as he does. But yeah, I'm loving Apex Legends right now, and I'm taking it kind of seriously, streaming it and trying to get into the comp scene. and stuff, and it's super fun. Yeah.
All right. I'll go next. The game I've been playing is, what do you know, Halo Infinite. Man, lots of surprises today. Noah, what are your 3 words?
All right. Well, I have a few words. Mangler, really? 2 zones. Stick to 2 zones, and then uninspired events.
Oh, okay. Yeah. David, what are your 3 words?
Mine are server issues, phase up, and behemoth no more.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Behemoth No More. Yeah.
Yeah.
David, you get the point.
Everybody was cheering about that.
So I like Behemoth the map, but it did not work in ranked.
Not for ranked, man.
It did not work in ranked. There's just too many sight lines everywhere. You could see everything almost at all times. It was not a great map for BRs. It was not a great map for snipes.
Not to mention you already have enough problems with people not wanting to play the mode correctly.
So then people would drop.
On that map, it's even worse.
Yeah. So I don't know why people don't like CTF. I remember CTF was the jam back in like the 2000, the time of Halo. I think even Call of Duty had a CTF at some point. But people don't like CTF for some reason. So I don't know what's going on with that. I like CTF. I'm not good at it, but I like it. But it sucked on Behemoth. Like you had to go under to get anything done. The only way you could go over to one of the sides off the man cannon is if you had multiple people dead, and then you hoped they had a weird spawn. That's the only way you can make it. Yeah. The chances you could have a weird spawn were kind of decent, so it could work. But for a long time, I'd be playing that map, and I'd be like, where is everybody? While I'm over here going off to the side trying to get some. They're all underneath. Next thing I know, they're grabbing our flag because they went underneath. It's not even that our team was all dead. It's that they all went underneath because that's the best strategy on Behemoth if you don't want to get into all the sight lines super easily. So glad that map is gone. At least, we get to stick with the other maps. Hopefully they have some new maps soon that will increase the diversity of play in ranked and let alone all the other modes. So David, you won that point. So give us your game that you've been playing, David.
Well, we actually did a Twitch stream of it. I'm not sure if it is still up on our Twitch channel or not. While I was down in Texas, played Aliens Fireteam Elite with myself, Ron, and our streamer, Adam, and had a bunch of fun shooting up some aliens.
There we go. All right. My 3 words for that are, you had a different game. I didn't change my words. So my 3 words are going to be co-op blast. I'm going to have to think of 2 others real quick. Let's say friend killer. And let's also go with unexpected hit. Noah, what are your 3 words?
I'm going to say it's game over, man. Game over. Like Rainbow Six, but with oh, wait. Never mind. And then dumb fun.
All right.
With that one, you got to give it to game over, man. Game over. Because that's just classic.
All right.
But it is a lot of fun shooting up. There's a lot of aliens that come into the room. We were so it was fun because we all have different play styles. Adam was trying to sit back and heal us and everything. Ron was dropping turrets and just trying to be smart about it. Meanwhile, dumb old me is playing like it's Call of Duty and just running through hallways and having aliens drop down out of the ceiling. On the plus side, when you have a shotgun, that's a little more doable because you can, on the difficulty we were playing on, it was 1 hit. But you go up past standard difficulty, I would have been the one getting absolutely destroyed because I did not play a third-person cover-based shooter as a cover-based shooter.
Yeah.
I just kept running around and popping them.
I would imagine.
Sounds
Man
like
who
a
plays Call of
Borderlands.
Duty tries to play Gears of War or Aliens Fireteam Elite like it's Call of Duty.
Gears of
Gosh,
War used to be my thing.
Gears was good. All right. That is it for Apples to Apples.
Woo.
David, what are you working on for Gaming Trend? What should we be
Cool.
expecting?
So we've just made a couple of posts here over the last little bit. I am handling our review for Dying Light 2. Stay Human. Can't really say any more than that, but I'm working on it. The worst thing about working on it is I just got Horizon Forbidden West, which I am also going to be working on. So I'm going to be flat up against the wall trying to get to these embargoes, but we're going to get there. Stay tuned on, I can at least tell you with Horizon Week, we'll be releasing our review for that on Valentine's Day, right at midnight Pacific time.
When can we expect the Dying Light 2 review?
I don't think I can actually say that.
Okay. All right. There we go. Noah, what are you
Before
working on?
launch, I can tell you before launch.
Sometime before launch. Could be 1 minute before launch. Could be one day. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
Noah, what are you working on?
I am working on a review, and that will be up in about a week and a half. It's for an upcoming game, and I don't think I can say anything else other than that.
Okay. It is a game, and it's a review. Fantastic. Yep. I am working on more Halo Infinite content, more breakdowns, play-by-play breakdowns. Apparently, I need to make sure that it is clear that is a play-by-play breakdown because they are long and they are thorough. I go through all the details. So
you thorough? No.
Yes, very thorough. So play-by-play, what not to do while you are playing in a match of Halo Infinite. So I'll be working on that some more. Obviously, working on this podcast, and who knows what else I'll be working on. There's sure a review might be coming sooner or later. We'll see how much time I have. That's it for us. This is the Part Timers Podcast. Appreciate y'all dropping in, listening, and watching. We'll talk to you later.